Hey everybody, Rusty here with Rusty Vintage Cards. Hope everyone's enjoying their weekend. It has been over 2 weeks since I've recorded a video, and last video I did, I mentioned that we've just been really busy. A lot of life stuff happening, good stuff. I mentioned we are selling a house. We've been in the process of moving. And on top of that, we also went on vacation. We got back last weekend. And this is not an ordinary vacation for us. It's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing. As you might see, I'm kind of schizophrenic on my sports apparel today. I've got the KC hat, and then I have a Paris Saint-Germain World Cup soccer shirt. So we went to Paris, and this was for my oldest son, Luke, which I've shown on a couple of my videos. It was for him to have the opportunity to train with Paris Saint-Germain, which again is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. It was that thing once in a lifetime for him, and it also was for us because we got to travel around Paris while he was training. So we did that. During the day we'd be checking out all the sites in Paris while he was training, and then reconnect after his training. We also went to a Paris Saint-Germain game, which was awesome. So just an amazing week, and really a good break, good vacation away from all the busyness that we've had here at home. So it was just a great week. While we were there, we did check out a card store, went to a card store in Paris. However, it was not a sports card store. I wasn't sure if they would have any sports, and they didn't. So it was all gamer stuff. We walked in there and just kind of looked around for a minute. There were a couple of French guys playing some Magic game or something like that, and not really my thing. I'm not knocking it if you're into that, but not really my thing. So we just turned back around and walked out. My wife said, she asked what I just took her to. So yeah, not my normal sports card type store, but I did check out another store, and this is not sports related, but I went to a record store in Paris, and again, not sports related. This is primarily a vintage card channel, but real quickly I'll show my other pickup, kind of an oversized item. So I got a record, this Eric Clapton album, No Reason to Cry, and the cool thing with this is it has this UK and US import sticker there at the top, because it was an English record being imported into France. So thought this was really cool. This is an album that I had it on CD, and actually still have it on CD, but one that I've listened to a lot. So again, not sports related, but I thought it was cool. So I have some pickups to share. Oh, before I get to the pickups, I do want to mention that I am going to a card show in Boonville, Missouri on June 21st. At least that's the current plan. That's about a 5-hour drive for me from Tulsa, Oklahoma. So I booked a hotel room for Saturday night, and I'm looking forward to hanging out there. Of course, checking out some cards, but really the primary reason for this is to hang out with some other YouTubers that will plan to be there. Billy Ballgame, Mike J. Hawker, a whole group of other guys from what I hear. So pumped about that. So really looking forward to that show and meeting up with everyone. All right, I do have a few pickups to share, so I will turn this camera around and see what I have. All right, so I have a few cards to show here. These are all cards that fit into my Hall of Fame run. My objective to pick up one Playing Days card of every Hall of Famer. As you can see, the first one here is a Diamond Stars card. It is Sam Rice. So a little bit of information about Sam Rice. He didn't enter the majors until he was 25 years old. He played for the Washington Senators from 1915 to 1933. He led the Senators to 3 postseasons and a World Series championship in 1924. He batted left, he threw right. So that's interesting. He played his final year in 1934 for the Cleveland Indians. You can tell on this card he's wearing a Cleveland uniform. The interesting thing here, it shows that his last season, but this is 1935. I don't know if they might have printed these in 1934. But anyway, I'm counting this as a playing days card, even though technically his last year was 1934, and this technically shows 1935 on the card. It's still an awesome looking card, beautiful colors on this, very vibrant. Picked this up for $60. I thought that was a fair deal. So Sam Rice, Hall of Famer. He had a .322 batting average. And one more interesting fact about him, he had 2,987 hits, which is the closest any player has to 3,000 hits without actually reaching 3,000 hits. All right, the next card I have here is Burleigh Grimes. You might notice something a little off with this card. There is a massive hole there on the top right. There's a hole punch. So Burleigh Grimes, this is actually his rookie card. So 1921 Oxford Confectionery. There's the front, obviously a batting pose there. There's the back, you can see that hole punch again. But some big names. Jason, Everyday Card Collector, just showed a 1921 Oxford Confectionery. And there are some big names on the back of this. Babe Ruth, let's see, Hornsby, Speaker, Sisler, Cobb. But these are cool little cards. This one's a little beat up. But again, this is a rookie card from Burleigh Grimes. The interesting thing about this, it's, as I mentioned, it's a batting pose, but he was a pitcher. So he was a spitball pitcher. A little bit of information about him. There's a quote from him that says, "I used to chew slippery elm, the bark, right off the tree. Come spring, the bark would get nice and loose and you could slice it free without any trouble. What I checked was the fiber from inside, and that's what I would put on the ball. The ball would break like hell away from right-handers and in on lefties." So very interesting, spitballer. And the other thing with that is spitballing was banned in 1920, but Grimes and 16 other existing pitchers were allowed to continue using it. So Burleigh Grimes, Hall of Fame pitcher, very unique card here. The thing with the hole punch, what I just am imagining is this hole punch might have been redeemed somewhere. It could have just been a kid playing with a hole punch and they punched a hole in the card, but it also could have been redeemed for something. I read that some cards back in the day were redeemed for like a discount on a game ticket, or this could have been redeemed for some type of food product, or I don't know. But it's just an interesting part of the history of this card, and I'm happy to have it. And lastly, pumped about this one. So 1940 play ball Jimmie Foxx. I've been chasing this card for a while, not actively ready to buy it, but the right card popped up at the right time, I would say. And just a great image on this, very clean. Registration is very nice, and really it's in pretty good condition. So I'm not going to go into quite as many details about Jimmie Foxx because a lot of you guys already know a lot about him. But one of the interesting things about this card, on the back, at the bottom, there's an ad for Superman gum. So this was on my want list. If I happen to find the right Jimmie Foxx card that had the Superman ad, that's what I was going to shoot for. And this one does have it, and I'm thrilled to have it. So there are a couple of different back categories, I would say. There were, I think, up to 6 different Superman ads. These were on cards from number 123 to 180. Those could be found with two different backs. One with the Superman ad. Again, it could be one of six, and I don't know enough about it to know if, like this Jimmy Fox card, if there was maybe only one of those Superman ads that was printed on this. The other ad really wasn't an ad. It would show the text would say, "A pictorial news record of America's favorite sport. Save these cards. Know all about the game and its prominent players. New pictures every year." So then the alternate was this Superman ad. And one of the cool things about that is Superman, it was first released in Action Comics #1 on April 18th, 1938. So this would have been within just a few years after the initial release of Superman. So very cool. And I'll show a little picture of what one of those Superman cards would look like just for reference. So I'll show all the new pickups here. Excited to have these cards. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys soon.